What's up, guys? This is Lewis back with another episode of The Development. Today we got the legend, son of a saint, um, here today, and we are in Ink Inspiration 718 shop. And how you doing?
Good, man. No complaints. No complaints.
How's COVID been treating you since craziness going on?
Oh, like a redheaded stepchild. Like a redheaded stepchild. So I mean, it's been good. It's been. I
Been
still
good.
keep busy, so thank God.
Good, good. Now everybody's fortunate enough. So tell us what you do. Tell us what you do. I've seen a lot of your work on Instagram, but what do you do for a living?
So I am a digital artist. I do a lot of character concepts and fan based art, rumor based art, and also I guess my series When Worlds Collide. When we let the fans pick names, we put them in a hat, pick out two random names, and then I make a battle sequence out of it in an art piece. So that's been doing fairly well, thank God.
Yes, I'll definitely agree with you. You've done some great work. So when you work with Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
never would have thought that would have collided in a way, or even like imagine it in my head, but that was like on point with
Ah,
that.
thank you. Appreciate that.
Everybody go check that out because that artwork is I would have never thought of it. So how did you get started with all this? Like what made you like want to be where you are now?
So, like, I was always sketching as a kid, right? Some years ago, I was a musician, and when you're with your buddies and other bands and stuff like that, they see you sketching, they see you doing other stuff, and people would ask, "Hey, can you make this T-shirt design for me or whatever?" And excuse me, at the time, I didn't know anything about Photoshop or whatever. My good buddy, another digital artist, Asher Mesa, was in the band with me, and he introduced me to Photoshop. He said, you could use this to paint and stuff like that, and you could refine it, and it'll work out for print and all this other stuff. So he gave me my first Photoshop pirated version, and I just sat and messed with the program as much as I could, and that developed into Illustrator and all this other stuff. And then next thing I know, I'm working for companies, doing either t-shirt designs or album art or movie posters and stuff like that. And that stuff just kind of, took on a life on its own. So
That's dope. That's dope. Definitely. I've seen a lot. I've seen your work on Instagram. Scroll through, and very impressed. I'm gonna say like not a lot of illustrators or artists or even like web designers like have your attention to detail or your design. It's just cause like it's different. Everybody's different, but sometimes almost everybody like mixes it the same way, but yours is just like super different, out there. Detailed is
I
like
mean,
right there.
yeah, if I compare, like if I certain artists that I love, like Alex Ross or Tom McFarlane and stuff. The stuff that makes their stuff pop to me is their attention to detail. So, like, obviously, everybody knows Tom McFarlane developed that, Spider-Man web where it was the strands and then the webbing around. That's an
Yes.
attention to detail that like I appreciate. And obviously, Alex Ross with his photorealism, his fine art style of doing stuff was also a huge inspiration for me as well. So, like, that's stuff that I really enjoy more, and just seeing, just a flat piece or whatever, you see the character, but like I feel like eh, I like the idea of when you look at a piece, you see it out front and you get whatever you get out of it and you love it, but then as you look into it more, it tells you more of a story. And I definitely love the idea of art pieces having their own standalone stories just by looking at them. So I'm a big fan of that. So
Yes, definitely. Big fan of Tom McFarlane, Alex Ross. There's a lot of great artists that are on like comic books and stuff. Like their work is just like damn. Like I would have never thought of it. Or just looking at it is just like wow. You said he was in a band. Like,
oh,
was
that's
he
years
big?
ago.
Was he
No,
big or
not
like
really,
was
not
it?
really. No, not really. I mean, locally we did all right, but like I wouldn't say we were a big band. I was a singer there for a long time, and uh, definitely gave that up because that's a young man's game. So,
Okay.
um, you know,
What kind of music?
oh, it was metal. It was
Metal,
metal.
metal.
So,
All right.
We did all right. We did all right. It was a fun time. It was definitely a fun time. So
All right. All right. So, for the viewers, have we've seen your work? Like, I know you go to cons. I've seen
mhm.
that. But like media wise or like TV wise, have we seen your work?
Probably like I've done a lot of different. So I've done some movie posters for the Tribeca Film Festival. Some stuff that went to Amazon Prime. So like Ghostbox Cowboy was a movie poster I did. I've done some stuff for like Booking.com where they hired me to turn a Brooklyn brownstone building into a complete inside replica of the Adams Family Mansion. So I did that. I've done some stuff with Kevin Hart with Booking.com where he had a tiny house and I did some artwork for that. It's just a lot of different stuff that I've done. It's kind of hard to kind of pinpoint where anyone would notice me from because some people would recognize my stuff from one thing, other people recognize my stuff from another thing. Um, but I've definitely got some stuff out there. So
That's dope. That's dope. Um, yeah, people check out his Instagrams. It's how what's your Instagram handle again?
so it's the underscore son of a saint.
The underscore son of saint. Definitely check it out. Like you'll see all his artwork there, and you sell your prints, right? Is it?
Yeah, absolutely. Any print that's on, I mean, with the exception of one or two things, if it's like a commission based thing or like a company commissioned me to do something, if I have permission to showcase it, I may not have the permission to sell it. So, but if there's anything on the Instagram, they can always hit me up and ask, and we can work something out.
All right, we do have some prints today. If anybody is interested, we got Spawn and Spider Man. We got Bruce Lee
Bruce Leroy,
and Bruce Leroy. I don't know if everybody can see that.
Battle of the Globes.
We got Batman.
Yeah, that was concept for the new Batman with Robert Pattinson. I was hoping they go. This was before they showed where he was gonna be black and stuff, so I took some liberties there.
Yeah, really came out well. We got Deadpool, everybody's favorite, with Archangel.
Yeah,
That
Deadpool. That's part of my When Worlds Collide series. Deadpool versus Archangel. I just thought it'd be funny if he had a giant fly swatter.
it's that it definitely catches my that when I first looked at it, that definitely caught my attention. The fly swatter. I was like, wait. Then we got what we got over
Yeah,
here.
everybody loves that one. That's Dante from Devil May Cry versus Sephiroth of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah, this just just that detail. People like look like definitely detail with the fire, with the hair, with the katanas, like the suits they wear,
Yeah, those are
the
always
street
fun.
scene.
Yeah,
It's definitely great.
I just felt like that would be good seeing as they both use katanas. I mean, Sephiroth got more of a reach, but I just thought it'd be cool to put together as well. And that's also part of the When Worlds Collide series.
The worlds collide, and my idea of like world collide is like DC, Marvel, Dark Horse, and
Yeah.
come. Where did you thought of this? Like,
So, I mean, as an artist, you wanna break kind of repetition. I didn't wanna. I was getting kind of bored with the stuff I was doing, so I wanted more of a challenge. So, since my fan base has gotten a little bigger, I wanted to engage them and also give myself a challenge. So I allow people to like give me names of any universe. It doesn't even have to be comic book, and we put all those names in a hat, and then I go live and pull these random names to set up the rounds, and these names are at random, so you could end up with like two names from two completely polar opposite universes that wouldn't necessarily work together. And I have to sit there and figure out how to put that together in a piece to work it out. So
yeah, that like I would have never thought Nightmare Before Christmas and Beetlejuice. I would have never thought Spider Man and Spawn. I would have never thought like even Deadpool and Archangel.
yeah,
Like,
and those names get pulled at random. So I've definitely had some rounds where they were weird. So like one round was like Macho Man versus Pinhead, or like Hulk Hogan versus the Violator from Spawn. Those are things that kind of weird. Like they don't really, and I have to figure out how that would work. And also to add a little extra on top, I got my buddy Rafael Tavares Jr., who's a writer. He goes by the Written Writ. Um, writing backstories to these things too. So like
Okay.
if the image isn't enough, he actually writes a backstory as to how these two come together. So anyway, that has been he's done some amazing writing on some of these backstories. So
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Gotta support everybody.
oh yeah,
Definitely love your work. Found him. I don't know if I found him, he found me, or the Facebook algorithm of fancy
who knows? I don't
whose
even
work,
remember. Yeah.
but it definitely caught my attention, and I appreciate you coming on the show today.
Oh, I appreciate you having me, man. Thank you so much.
Definitely, I definitely appreciate it. Just cause like I don't know you from a hole in the wall, but like I love your work, so I rather like I want to show it out. I want to show like people like look like this is a talented artist that
I appreciate it. Yeah.
puts everything to detail.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Man. This is great.
Definitely, definitely. Um, any what's your after this world collides like what's your next thought of
I don't know.
design?
I'm kind of playing with the idea of, since when worlds collide is all like battle sequences. I'm playing with the idea of maybe doing the same thing but doing team ups. Two characters teaming up to take on something else or whatever. So I'll probably do a voting system where, give me two characters for the team up and then another voting for who they face. So maybe I'll do something like that just to make it bigger. You know what I mean? Bigger sequences. More characters on the pieces as opposed to just the two. So um, that might be something I might be interested in doing. Um, who knows? I don't know what's gonna be next, but it's definitely gonna be something.
Yeah, definitely, I can't wait to see it. You ever thought of bringing like your pieces like animated? I know like you have like Bat in the Sun, Death Battle, they do
Yeah.
all their artwork and then make it animated to fight. You ever thought of doing that?
I mean, I guess I would be up to playing with the idea. So I guess any animator, if you guys see my stuff, you guys want to get together and do something, we can do that too. I mean, I just have never looked at an animator yet, so that might be something interesting to get into.
Animators watching, hit up my boy because this artwork is fire, and I know I've seen a lot of shows, YouTubers like Death Battle and Bat in the Sun. They put two different um comic book characters together and then animated or live action.
Yeah.
But I never seen a lot of your character ideas. That should get out there too.
Yeah, yeah, I appreciate that. Well, hopefully, hit me up. We'll work something out.
Definitely hit him up. Any like big name companies you've worked with before?
um, Bulky.com, Bacardi, Belvedere Vodka, MGM Studios. I'm trying to think of something recent. Um, Dark Star Productions.
Okay.
I've done a couple of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff. I've done a lot of stuff.
It's done a lot of stuff, people. It's hard to remember. I'll say the same thing. I even forget a lot of things sometimes that I've done. You said Bacardi. That's cool because like I know they do a lot of events. And what did you do for them?
So Bacardi and Belvedere, like those kind of companies, they hire me to create custom mailers that they send out to either celebrities or press or some. So they want to give, like, I guess, incentive to these people to for media purposes.
Yeah.
So they hire me to create these custom builds for them. With custom artwork that gets sent out, like definitely like limited edition style stuff. So, and if anybody's got their hands on one, hit me up. I have yet to see these things, but I know they get done. I've never had one. They don't send me
Yeah.
one. So
Yeah, I would like to see. I'm assuming it's like a flyer, like welcome.
no. Like I'm talking like build a box and then
Oh.
do artwork on the box
Wow.
and then insert stuff like artwork
Okay.
inside the box as well. So like I've done some stuff.
Oh, that's dope. Like it's like kind of like a mystery box with like your design on it,
Yeah,
kind of.
yeah. Kind of, sorta. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Like, you know, big things for him. Big things.
Thank God. Thank God.
What what's your next step? Like, who would you want to work with next?
I mean, I guess every artist would want to work with Marvel or want to work with DC, but I've kind of, at least in this point of the game, I want to keep it indie.
Okay.
There's a lot of indie guys that I've seen that have comic book companies or doing indie stuff that I feel like production quality has been a little more. And not that Marvel and DC that that production is bad. Obviously not. It's
No.
just with indie you get fresh ideas and they kind of break away from certain formulas that kind of already been set in play, right? So
Yes.
I like the ideas of outside the box. So don't get me wrong, Marvel DC, you want to hire me? Hell yeah, absolutely, you take it. But if picking right now, I'd go indie stuff.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. Marvel and DC's been out in the
Oh, of
game
course.
for
I
a
mean,
while.
who's gonna turn that down? I
Yeah,
mean, I,
yeah.
I would never turn that down, obviously, but like, I do like the indie stuff because they don't necessarily have a set cookie cutter formula. You know what I mean? So it gives you the chance to kind of, Marvel DC hit you up. You just got to do what they say, and that's it. You know what I mean? Indie, you can work with the creator, right?
Yes.
You could uh, brainstorm together and make a bigger, better product. Um, and of course, there's a lot of unknown talent out there that I would love to work with because again, they're thinking outside of the box. They're doing something new, and I'm all for that. Like I love that idea of, because it's art, you don't have to. It doesn't have to be cookie cutter. Like
Right.
me myself, like I'm a digital artist working in a world that typically um, is more traditional based, right? So, but with this digital age, everything is kind of going into the format of digital. So you got to think outside the box. You know, I just want to keep it in that pace because I feel like as an artist, you have to always grow. You're always a student of art for like the minute you go into art, you're a student of art for the rest of your life. I don't care how good you are.
Yeah.
You can always learn something new. You can always
Definitely.
improve on what you do. So I just want to do anything and anything that'll make me take my artistry to another level, learn something new, add something to the arsenal already. It's all about growth.
Definitely all about growth. Also want to say congratulations. You got married.
Yes, I got married. Yes,
2 weeks ago, right?
2-3 weeks ago.
And
Yeah.
congrats. That means he's off the market, people. Don't bother. Don't bother him.
If you ask my wife, I've been off the market a long time, marriage or not. So,
Yes,
which
yes.
I agree. I agree, of course.
Yes. Don't bother him. Leave him alone. But good looking guy, people like don't.
He's been hitting on me this whole time, just so you know. He's been hitting on me.
Yeah, that was the back before we started rolling. Um, so what you want next for you? Like next in life? Like you're married, you got a great job, you got your designs going. Like what you want next?
Dude, it's all about peace of mind for me, right? So I don't necessarily I don't really give a crap about fame or stuff like that. I do want to make money doing what I love
Yes.
and be able to obviously provide for my family.
Yes.
Whatever that takes to do that, I'm gonna do. But as far as fame and fortune, I'm not really that type of dude. I don't really care about that. I do care about making the money though. Let's not get it twisted.
Yeah.
Um, but it's more important for me to have the peace of mind that I'm working and doing what I love,
And being happy.
and being happy doing that. You know what I mean? Like that means more to me. A long time ago, a guy did tell me that the greatest thing anyone could aspire to have is peace of mind. How do you obtain peace of mind? I guess it was Confucius who say, "Work a job you love, you never work a day in your life." Right? So that's the mindset I want to have. That's where I want to keep it.
Love it.
Because a lot of times there are artists that they make a name for themselves or something, and they get too caught up in I'm a name, I'm a this, I'm a that,
Yeah.
and then their artistry suffers because they're more focused on their name than their artistry, and you can see it. You can see it, and I never want to be in that position. So
Definitely, I definitely agree. Egos get up there.
yeah,
Unfortunately.
and it's unfortunate, and it does happen. It's human, but if you can avoid that, then avoid it.
Definitely. Yeah, there's I was speaking to another like drawer comic designer, and there's a lot of artists out there that like when a fan or just a person that wants to get into the same industry as you, um they go to you and show you their sketch or their drawings, and a lot of them just like next.
Yeah.
or just like, or just don't even give the advice of like, do a little more shading here,
Yeah,
draw,
yeah. I
do
mean,
these lines better.
listen, I've said it. Anyone who's met me at a con knows if you're an artist and you want to show me your stuff, like I'm never gonna consider myself an expert, but if I do have something I can, add to you, I will. I mean, because that's how I got started. I've been fortunate enough to run into other artists, and I'm still friends with today that have helped me along the way. So I definitely have that need to pay it back. I don't care how big I become or whatever. Like I'll never turn down advice to someone if I can give it. Now, if I can't, then I'll be honest and say I can't give it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So it's unfortunate, but like there are artists like that, and it's a shame. But like I'd never want to turn anybody away ever.
definitely agree. It's unfortunate, but so,
Yeah,
and it's fortunate even to say that's a way of life for some people, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, find
yeah,
somebody that probably can inspire you to do better.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so before we end our show, I usually like to ask people like anything inspirational, like you want to say, or like something to like uplift somebody watching the show.
Um,
You got anything to say?
yeah. Nothing comes easy. You gotta bust your ass. If
Yes.
you're walking into this or any career or any kind of artistry thinking that something's gonna get handed to you or it's just never gonna happen. It's just bust your ass, and if you knock on a door, it doesn't open, put yourself in a position where you can kick that door down. Do it for yourself first, and
Yes.
then the rest of the stuff. Because a lot of stuff, like especially where I've gotten to right now, when I first got there, I had the mentality of I got to make a name for myself so that the work could come in, right? And to a degree, I still have that mindset, but I got to make my own moves. I can't depend on people in the sense of I got to do it for myself. And if I can help people along the way, then that's a bonus. But definitely, you know, uh, persistence, right? So you got
Def-
to just keep going and keep going. And it's an uphill battle. Only people that really want it are going to make it.
Definitely.
Um, if you're doing this on the fly, this ain't going to be for you. Um, this is definitely a lot of this stuff is work of passion, right?
Yes.
So
It is a passion
um,
because
you gotta love this to do this
Yep.
because you get some for all the big name companies whatever that I've worked for whatever a lot of them could be a pain in the ass, and if it wasn't for the fact that I was passionate and loved doing this, I wouldn't even make it into the second draft or whatever the case because you got to deal with people.
Yes.
So just keep pushing forward, keep working, work hard, learn whatever you can. Never put yourself in a position where you feel like you're the best. Because the minute you say you're the best, guess what? You just put a cap on your learning curve. That's it. You're not gonna get any better. You're gonna be stuck in that. I'm the best, and you're only gonna know what you know, and that's it. You can't grow from there. Um, Stay humble, work hard, and don't be a dick. That's all.
Yep.
Just don't be a
Yep.
dick.
Don't be a dick. Yeah, much respect on that. Like that's that. Hopefully, whoever's watching like understands like where he's coming from. Where like mindset is not. Mindset is like go towards your goal and even expand more towards your goal, but never like belittle anybody or like stay in one line where you just like this is where I'm at. Like that's it.
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. And treat people good. Treat people with kindness. It goes a long way.
Definitely.
It's not gonna cost you anything to be nice to somebody. Like
Definitely.
so.
Definitely. Totally agree with you. Once again, thank you for coming
Oh,
on.
it's my pleasure. Thank you so much,
Um,
man.
where can people find you? Where can people like get your work if you have a website? Where can they find that?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much on all social medias as the son of a saint. On Instagram is the underscore son of a saint. On Twitter is son of a saint. On Facebook is son of a saint art. Um, pretty much Google it; it'll pop up. So
Definitely follow all his social media handle. He's bringing out a lot of work. Even with his worlds collide. Like if you want to vote for or tell him like, hey, do this and that. Definitely let him know because
yeah.
he's doing some work.
And to be fair, just so anybody, you guys DM me whatever you see. I don't get back to you right away. Just be patient. I'll get to you. I swear. I try to get back to everybody as much as I can.
Definitely. Busy man. Just give him time. And some, if you want to be persistent, send another one, but not too much.
Yeah, I feel bad sometimes. And sometimes I'll see people that have hit me up and I haven't had a chance to hit them back. Um, don't think I'm blowing you off. It's just life. Like,
That's life. You guys can follow me on it's underscore official OFFICAL. Yes, it is misspelled, but I can't do nothing about that since somebody has the official name. You can follow MDMC at MDMC Entertainment on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you follow, subscribe, and like on our YouTube page. And thank you for coming on the show again.
my pleasure. My honor, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?